This BHP Billiton did an interesting move right here yesterday on really nice volume. I'll show you why it's interesting now. I thought that this level here at 58 was really going to be kind of the lid on it, and we were going to see some of that. And I think I got stopped out, or I think I sold into this little move up here after buying some on one of these days in here. So I've been watching this for some time, and I know what you're saying. You're saying this gap up here is the gap and fill from this little tiny little gap right there. But hear me out on why I think this is bullish. Let's move on to a longer term time frame and zoom out to a weekly, and now you can see a longer term picture of this $50 level really holding actually quite nicely on some pretty decent volume on the rebound. So I'm wondering if this BHP might be one of the leaders in what could be the greatest commodities bull market of all time if this Fed is trapped with low rates and inflation and they can do nothing about it. Now, further evidence, I think, gets better if we zoom out one more time into a monthly, and then the picture gets even better where you see this breakout level going back down here to 2008, all right, peak. And this price chart is adjusted for dividends, so it adds back in the dividends to the stock price, okay? But we got this breakout right into 2020-ish, and then we get maybe this is the pullback that's getting ready for this kind of a move up here, perhaps, and maybe even something into the greatest commodities bull market of all time if iron ore starts to get out of control to the upside. Okay, again, I'm looking for a move that was kind of like this one here, where you had this breakout, okay, 2004, China's run up into the Olympics in 2008, and you got to move from this $5, okay, all the way up into almost 50 here, okay. You had a 10x from this breakout. So I'm hoping to get some other kind of 10x if we have same kind of conditions. This was a nice setup, had this nice little tightness in price, okay, in the breakout. This one's not so nice. You had this kind of a move here. So we got to see some tightness in price on this monthly. So this is going to take some time here. Price comes into here around 2021, and then maybe it kind of backs off down here, and then maybe we get this kind of a 10x move over a number of 3, 4, 5 years. All right. So now, in order to see if any of this is going to happen, we got to take a look at the fundamentals. So taking a look at value line here, we can see that next year's projected revenue per share of $24 and change is bumping up against this period right in here where we had peak revenue, okay, 2011 to 2014. So we're going to have to see a sustained period of increased price for iron ore in order to get these revenue numbers up. And you can see, yeah, the projected $5 per share EPS is again nowhere near this peak, but we had of $8.50, but we had a peak in '05 of the same, roughly $5.50, 2008. Again, roughly $5.75 in 2012, and it hasn't seen anything near that since. So this could be just another cyclical peak right here, $4. We may not even get to this 550 if earnings don't materialize in 2022 because the Fed crushes the economy with higher rates. But if the Fed is stuck and they don't higher rates and the economy doesn't get crushed and inflation does start to run hot for a sustained period, you're going to see this $5 breakout finally and certainly try and head back up into this 2011 $8 could get up to $8, could get up to $10, and we're going to need to see that in order for this BHP Billiton to do another 10x in price from $50 up to 500 as we're looking for. So that's something to keep an eye out for. We're going to also need to see this operating margin, all right, 50%, all right, all-time high projected 2022 at 54%. Going to need to see that sustained. Operating margins, okay, net profit margin 22% projected for next year. That is nowhere near its peak operating margin in 2011 when it had this huge earnings peak at $8.54. So those are the things we're going to have to keep an eye out for. Quarterly earnings are going to have to accelerate. So we're going to need to see quarters. This thing is a foreign stock, so it runs on half-year reports. Had $3 earnings, and look what it's projected to do. It's already projected for a decrease in the second half of next year, or the first half of next year, 2022. It's running on a different cycle, but let's just say it's not good to see this go from $3 down to $2.50. So you're going to want to see this one earnings for the second half start to kind of edge up from this 250.